Welcome to our Moonflow yoga class. My name is Kyra Howearth. Today's Yin yoga class is focused on Pisces season. We'll be working with the liver meridian as well as the feet, both of which are associated with Pisces. So for today's class, grab yourself a blanket, some blocks, a bolster, or improvising with any other props that you have. You can sit on the edge of a folded up blanket as we come into our first pose, butterfly pose. Bringing the soles of the feet together, you can bring the feet as close or as far away from the body as it feels good for your body. If you notice the knees are up quite high here, we can support the legs using some blocks under the thighs or the knees. You can adjust the settings of the blocks, either the medium or low setting. Or alternatively, you can pop the blocks down to the side and use the bolster underneath the knees instead, and that might feel a bit more comfortable. We'll take a deep breath in to lengthen through the spine and then exhale into your forward fold. As we come into our forward fold, we're going to find our liver 3-point, which is just between the first and second toe. This is the great surge or Tai Chong point. And we're just going to gently massage this acupressure point just between the first and second toe, between the big toe and the second toe. Just gently massaging at that point. This great surge, liver 3, can help resolve stagnation, and it can help with issues to do with the eyes, the menstrual cycle, digestion, and feelings of anger or anxiety. This point is also especially helpful for balancing during seasons of change. So you can release the liver 3 point at any time and rest the arms down, maybe holding on to the feet here. As we settle in to our butterfly pose, working with the liver meridian here through the legs, allowing the body to relax here without forcing anything, just letting the body gently melt down into your forward fold here. We will be here for another few moments. Just allowing the body to relax, to sink into this shape. And I'll let you know when it's time to move on to our next pose. Take a deep breath in through the nose and a slow breath out through the nose. When you're ready, we'll slowly roll all the way back upright to a seated position. Taking your time, we'll remove any props from underneath the legs or any other props we might be using, popping them out to the side. From here, bring the hands behind the body. Feet can go a bit wider than hip width distance apart. And we'll take some windshield wiper actions here to gently release out through the hips and the legs, finding a bit of gentle movement here. And then we'll start to set up for our next pose. We're going to come into a toe squat. So you might like to bring a blanket underneath the knees for a bit of extra padding. And then from here, we'll kneel on the knees. You can come to sit down onto the heels, and we'll tuck under the toes here and sit back down on the heels. Now, you've got the option to come up onto the knees and stay up on the knees rather than sit down on the heels. That will take some of the pressure off the toes. And if you do need to come out of this shape at any time, you can untuck the toes. Otherwise, we'll rest the hands down onto the thighs here and close down the eyes. We won't be here for too long. Our toe squat is a very powerful pose. A lot of our meridians, our energetic pathways, start or end at the toes, including the liver meridian, which we are working with today, which starts on the big toe. So here we're releasing out any blockages that might be at those toe areas of the meridians. Continue to focus on your breath here. We're here for just a few more deep breaths. We'll take one last deep breath in. And then from here, we can start to untuck the toes carefully and gently. You can come to sit back down onto the heels. Feel all that energy rushing through those meridians, through the toes. And from here, we'll move into our next pose, Sleeping Swan. We'll bring our blocks bolster up towards the top of the mat in case we want to use them. I like to lay the blanket out along the mat here to create a bit of padding for the legs. You can do that as well. We'll start off in a kneeling all fours position, and then we'll bring our left knee up to our left wrist and work our left foot over towards the right side of the mat. From here, you can walk the right leg back a little, and then as that left hip comes down, you might find there's a bit of a gap between the left hip and the mat, so we might pop a block underneath that left hip for a bit of extra support. And then you can use a bolster or block or just come down to rest onto the arms as we come into a forward fold over the left leg. And this is our Sleeping Swan pose. If you need to make any adjustments, any modifications here, you've got a bit of wriggle time here to set yourself up in a way that feels comfortable for your body. And here we may start mapping the liver meridian. So the liver meridian is associated with Pisces. And the liver meridian starts on the lateral side of the big toe. And then it runs up through the inner seam of the leg. So here you might start to visualize that liver meridian starting on the side of the big toe, running up through the inner seam of the calf, the inside of the knee, up through the inner thighs. We'll take a deep breath in through the nose. And slowly start to push our way back upright, pushing up onto the hands. We'll remove the block from underneath the thigh if we've got it there. And work our way back up through to all fours. Slowly and carefully. Maybe taking a few stretches as we come up to all fours. You can take a few cat-cow motions here. Or you can take any other gentle stretch or movement that feels good. You can stretch out the legs or shake the hips from side to side. Whatever's feeling good here for your body. Finding a bit of release And then from our all fours position, let's move back into our sleeping swan, bringing our right knee up to the right wrist, bringing the right foot across to the left side of the mat, walking the left leg back, maybe bringing a block underneath the right hip to support the right hip and the right thigh, and then coming down into that forward fold over the right leg, perhaps resting down onto a bolster, block, or just using your arms as a pillow here. Working your way into a comfortable position here again in your sleeping swan. Letting go of any tension, letting all the muscles become soft and relaxed here in sleeping swan. And here we'll come back to visualizing that liver meridian, that energetic pathway, starting from the side of the big toe, running up through the inner seam of the leg. The liver meridian is associated with the emotion of anger. When there are blockages within the liver meridian, this may present itself as feelings of anger, irritation, frustration. So through working with our liver meridian, we can help to release those feelings of anger. We'll take a deep breath in through the nose and slowly start to work our way on up onto the hands. And then we'll shift back the right knee, bringing the left knee in, coming back through to all fours, finding a gentle stretch, a gentle release here through the hips. Maybe taking a few cat-cows, maybe stretching out the legs, finding any gentle movement or stretch here to release any tension out of the body. Then from here, we're going to set ourselves up for our Shavasana. So from here, you might like to fold up the blanket. If you're using one, you can use this as a pillow at the top of the mat. If you've got a bolster, we can bring the bolster underneath the knees for a bit of support for our optimal Shavasana positioning. So you can lie down onto your back using the blanket as a pillow, bolster under the legs, or using your props or any other props that you may have to make yourself feel as comfortable as possible. Wriggling around a bit as you find a comfortable position to rest in for these final few moments of class. And as we settle in to Shavasana, take a few deep breaths in through the nose and slowly exhaling out through the nose. Deep breath in through the nose and a slow breath out through the nose. Letting the feet relax. Letting go of any tension out of the legs. Letting the hips relax as they melt down onto the mat. Unclenching the fingers, unclenching the hands, letting the hands become soft and relaxed. Letting the shoulders melt down into the mat beneath you. Letting the entire body sink into relaxation. Please enjoy these few moments of Shavasana, and I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Take a deep breath in through the nose and a slow breath out through the nose. Gently bring your awareness back into your body, maybe wriggling the fingers or the toes. Maybe stretching out the arms, stretching out the legs, taking a full body stretch. And then when you're ready, rolling over onto your favorite side, taking a moment to pause, to rest, savoring this transition between your practice and the rest of your day. We'll work our way up to a comfortable seated position slowly when you're ready, meeting with the hands in prayer position and Jali Mudra. And here we'll bow down the head towards the hands, giving yourself a moment of gratitude for showing up on the mat today, for doing something just for you. Have a magical day. Namaste.